Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to our monthly meeting of professionals regulating stress. I am your facilitator, Shana Ross. I possess a LCSW. Okay, I've been doing this for quite some time now, and working with professionals regulating stress is one of my most, I would say, rewarding things about my job because I myself deal with different families and different people who are going through stressful times and different things like that. So to be able to be there for you guys when you guys need help is truly a joy and a pleasure. Uh, Last week we talked about things that may upset us and what are some of our key stressors, and finding out what are those buttons that people or we ourselves press that make us feel like we're overwhelmed, overworked, and different things like that. And what are some ways that we can start to, I guess, to have better care for ourselves. So today we're going to talk about self-care, and specifically we're going to talk about self-care for social workers. The goal of self-care for social workers is to support the health and appropriate functioning of its member. Also, together we plan to support, guide, and understand how you are feeling and what you're going through, and also help you have understanding of one another in order to help manage your daily challenges, so on and so forth. Okay. Does anyone have any questions or issues from the past week? So I guess that's a no. Okay, so we're going to keep moving right along. Okay. So some of the questions that we did discuss was that we started to touch on was did you practice self-care today? Describe some of your favorite self-care activities. And when we started to discuss that, some people said snowboarding, some people said skiing, some people said tennis. It was a lot of different things that you guys spoke about. But today we're going to do an activity, a group activity, where you guys participate and you will answer questions about 10 aspects and or categories of self-care. One being self-regulation, another being hygiene and appearance, another sleep and relaxation, another health and leisure, good eating habits, sobriety, exercising, inner peace and spirituality, excuse me, self-improvement, and health management. Okay? And the objective of this activity is to help participants recognize the components of good self-care and to identify positive ways in which you can care for yourselves, as well as improve self-care. Okay? So we all can take a moment to introduce ourselves right now.
Okay, hi, my name is Oshikoya Omalade Natalie. I'm your co-facilitator, the PSW social worker, and this meeting is basically about helping professionals deal with stress through various means or exercises that we can use to improve ourselves professionally, especially as we're dealing with the pandemic, the COVID-19, and how we as professionals could regulate ourselves and help our clients.
All right, I'll go next. I'm Bevan Gould, and I am an MSW and an LCSW, and I currently work in mental health and sobriety, and I have my own practice of therapy.
My name is Tiandra Barthay. I have a BSW social work, and I work for Defects.
Hi, my name is Shatara Turner, and I have my MSW in social work, and I work with teenagers who struggle with suicide and mental health issues.
Okay, thank you. And Observer, you please feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Leanna Everett. I will be the observer for this group, and I have my MSW, and I am a social work administrator for children and families in the welfare system. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I just want to thank you guys again for coming to this group meeting. I know, as Natalie touched on it, the COVID-19 has a lot of us feeling trapped in our homes and different things like that, but it's better to be safe than sorry. And, you know, we too can get through this together, you know, standing strong, you know, practicing social distancing and different things like that. Who would have thought that, you know, sitting in front of the computer would be the new thing or the best thing for us at, you know, like it is right now. So we're going to start with our group activity. I'm going to give you a few seconds to go ahead and write out those categories, aspects, and/or categories of self-care. Again, they were self-regulation, hygiene and appearance, sleep and relaxation, healthy leisure, good eating habits, sobriety, exercise, inner peace and spirituality, self-improvement, and lastly, health management. Okay, I'm going to elaborate a little bit more on self-care because I'm going to explain how good self-care involves more than just good hygiene and includes many components, including the need for rest, relaxation, and healthy habits. Self-care means adopting a mindset that makes you physical and mentally healthy, as well as not just making it that way, but just making it a priority more so. It shows in behavior like getting enough sleep, eating well, and many other aspects of life, okay? And Natalie, would you like to explain a little bit more?
Okay, I'll be explaining more about how self-care is essential for personal safety. And as public safety workers, we're not dealing with only our emotions, but then we deal with emotions of friends and family members. And at this time, we are supposed to comfort ourselves with how we're dealing before we can help others deal with their emotions and stress. We could go through various activities of self-relaxation, exercise. There are various activities that you can do to ensure your own personal and emotional safety before you can help others. You have to be self-aware of the strength of you being a social worker before you can help anyone deal with their own problems.
Okay, thank you so much. Would anyone like to start and just tell us a few of their either aspects and or categories of self-care that they like to practice or would like to and or improve?
Yes, I can start. So I have first sleep and relaxation because I know for me, my sleep patterns are not sustainable with the kind of work that we do on a daily basis and the information that I particularly get in my line of work is heavy and dealing with a lot of personal issues. So when I go home, it takes a while to shut off and relax and even get my sleeping patterns regular because it'll be like I can stay up till like 3 in the morning working on what I have at home and also stuff for work. So my sleep pattern is constantly changing. But when I actually practice and like keep a routine that I know like I need to stick to my routine, I have noticed that my self-care improves and that I'm more relaxed with life.
Okay, thank you so much, Biban. It seems like, you expressed, the good, what the importance of getting enough sleep and different things like that, as well as giving us examples of ways that you plan to improve it. So who else would like to tell us some of the things that they, some aspects that they practice or would like to improve on?
I know personally with sobriety, I would like to practice being more, sober in the mind and not quickly wanting to run to certain substances or, overindulge in the things I know I shouldn't be overindulging in, so I can keep a clear mind to help clients when I do go out. So I was just wondering, what are some tips to, stay sober-minded or want to be sober?
I would suggest sometimes also being mindful of the company that you're keeping around you. Be around like-minded people who have the same goals and or perspectives, or even are willing to cheer you on and let you know, not afraid to tap you on the shoulder, say, I noticed a few things, or maybe that isn't the best. Because sometimes, people say you can do it alone, but sometimes it's helpful when you have those around you. And depending on your religion or your practice, they say when one or two are gathered, a lot can be accomplished. So I would say that's the way to start.
Thank you.
Anyone else?
So I have one with exercise, because I'm always, in the office, and, I'm constantly, going places. I have a poor diet. I